Hey, how's it going, guys? Mr. Boss for the win here, and in today's Grand Theft Auto 5 video, I'm going to be doing a review of the brand new vehicle that was just added into Grand Theft Auto Online earlier today, the Karin 190Z Sports Classic car. Now, before we do jump into that, I just want to let you guys know I am doing a shark card giveaway for this vehicle. I'm handing out $1.25 million, which, as you'll see in a second, and a little bit later on in the video, will not only cover the price, but all the customization you're going to need for this car. So I'll leave a link to that in the description. It's happening on my Twitter account. Go ahead and enter that down there if you want to. But with all the way, let's not waste more time and let's jump into buying this super awesome new car. All right, so the Karin 190Z is available on the Legendary Motorsports site for $900,000. As I mentioned earlier, it's a two-seater sports classic vehicle. Here's its vehicle description if you want to pause and take a look at it for yourself. And those are the vehicle stats too. Not that really any of that matters. And we'll touch on whether or not that's really important or not at the end of this video. But let's go ahead and order this and jump into what it looks like in the garage. So our Karin 190Z has just been delivered to our garage, and this is what it's going to look like when you first get this vehicle off of the website. Now, in case you guys are curious about some of the quirks and cool features of this vehicle, I will leave a link to that in the description. It's a video I did about a week ago. But anyways, let's jump into this right now, and I actually do want to check out the engine sound for this. So let's hop into it right now. So I'd say not a terrible engine sound, but definitely not on the level of the Viserys. This is the interior too as well, which I went into in much further detail in a earlier video. So once again, be sure to check that out if you're interested. But let's get into the modification of this vehicle right now. So that is definitely the strong suit of the Karin 190Z, is all the customization you get to do with this vehicle. I mean, for starters, you have 21 different customization options here, and some of them have multiple ones on the inside. Like engine has 4 things you can do. Bumpers has front and rear. So there's a lot of different things you can do to this vehicle, which is absolutely incredible. I mean, if we start with the arch covers, you can see there's 19 different options right here. Yes, most of them are primary, secondary carbon, but there's bolted options too. There's trimmed options. There's arch kits. There's bolted kits. I mean, there's so much that you can do with this vehicle to make it look so unique and really cool, in my opinion. After that, we have front bumper. And like I said, there's so much you can do in terms of sticker bomb designs, crazy, tuner styles, sports bumpers. There's really just endless customization here, which in my opinion is great on a sports classic car. And same with the rear bumper as well. It has almost just as many customization options, like extending it, adding kits, adding a tow line, support bracket. I mean, you guys can see here, there really is just almost endless possibilities in which you can do for this vehicle, which is, like I said, great because most sports classic vehicles don't perform like this. So as I mentioned earlier, you can do so much to this vehicle in terms of modifying the engine block. You can obviously upgrade the engine itself, adding a brace bar, and really just so much more to this vehicle, even going as far as engine detail, which is something we've never seen on any other vehicle before. This customization is unique to the Karin 190Z, which again, like I said, most vehicles, in fact, none other of these vehicles have that engine detail design. Also, the exhaust has a ton of upgrade options that you can choose from. The only thing I don't like is when you choose an exhaust option that isn't featured in the rear, you still have this like massive cutout in the back for where the exhaust should be. And even though these look really cool up front, sort of like where they are in the hood and on the side, it really is a bummer because for the most part, your view of the car is going to be like this. And there's this like massive rectangle chunk that's missing. So that's why I'm a fan of like the stock exhaust options, are the ones that actually keep it closer to the back. So that's what I'm going to stay with. The grille options are really great as well. You can remove it. There's a ton that look really cool in terms of adding different colors and designs. But in my opinion, I'm a big fan of the stock grille, so I'm going to keep that. With the hood, you have a lot of options too. You can completely remove it. You can add ones that have, vents. You could have ones that have ridges on there, sticker bombs, vanity hoods where you can actually see the cool engine that you can do. So again, the engine upgrades really will be important if you have one of those see-through hoods. I really like this one right here, which is the rigid inset hood. And that brings us to liveries, where we go from simple to very complex, starting with hard stand strip, which is a simple black strip on the hood and on the side near the door sill with hard sand. Orange 190Z, very similar. You get the 190Z instead of hard sand. It's lower, which makes the hood black runs a black line all the way across the back and side of the car with its lower written on the side and those two spires. Sponsor badge, which I think is my favorite, which is just a bunch of sponsors all over the place. Red Jackal Racing and Blue Jackal Racing. These are the same ones that can be found on the Nero Custom, so very similar. Red Karin Stream, which is another Karin livery design, which looks pretty cool. And green, which is literally the exact same, just instead of red, it's green. You have Classic Rally, which looks really good with a white paint job, and then Amigas Watermark, which is a pretty extreme, I will say, by far the most extreme of the ones we've seen so far. The mirror options are very unique as well. You can completely remove them, which is actually kind of cool. You can also modify the stock ones, making them chrome secondary or carbon, having a stylized option in regular chrome secondary or carbon, and then classic mirrors, which are really tiny in classic chrome secondary and carbon too. So my favorite are the regular ones, and because we're going with a carbon theme, I think we're going to ultimately go with those. Now, in case you're curious what this vehicle is based off of, it's primarily based off of a Datsun as well as a Nissan Fairlady. So Rockstar obviously make their own sort of designs when creating these vehicles, but that's definitely what this car, the Karin 190Z, is predominantly based off of. And then after that, we have respray options where you have primary, secondary, and trim color. So primary, obviously going to modify a bunch of the car. The one thing the secondary color does is actually modify the handle, which is kind of cool. The door handle of all things is modified by the secondary color. And then, of course, your trim color is what you can change on the inside. It changes the seats and the dash and everything that isn't the wood paneling. You have a ton of spoiler options too, which makes this car really unique. Some of them are incredibly low and really cool. In fact, adding a spoiler to this livery actually gets you sort of a Liberty City reference, which I noticed earlier on my stream today, which is also kind of cool. However, there are some extreme ones that we don't see on any other car, which are these garage spoilers. So you have chrome garage spoiler and regular garage spoiler. We don't see this type of spoiler on any other vehicle, which is pretty unique. Now, I don't think it fits this car all that well, but it's unique because you'll never see it on any other ride. Now, the last thing you need to know about this vehicle before we take it out is you can change the color of the stock rims. So the stock rims are unique, which I pointed out in my video earlier, and luckily via the iFruit app, they can also be changed as well. All right, getting onto the performance of this vehicle, the 190Z, initially I kind of realized it wasn't going to be able to compete with that top tier of sports classic vehicle, and Broughy's testing confirmed that to be true. I'll also leave a link to his testing video in the description, which confirmed that the 190Z only finished in the 14th best as the sports classics go. Like I said, it isn't like a terrible vehicle at all. In fact, I really enjoyed racing with it earlier on my live stream. It's just that the top tier of the sports classic class is in like a league of its own, which means that if you're not a part of that club, you're really not going to be able to compete. And unfortunately, that's where the 190Z falls. It also has a really bad top speed. This is something we were able to test earlier on my live stream. This is the Achilles heel of this vehicle. It just isn't fast at all in the straightaways, and that's where it's really going to get hurt. I really enjoy it. I feel like it handles well, in my opinion, but the fact that it is just as slow as it is means that it really isn't a viable option when it comes to racing, and the performance of this vehicle is just so-so. I wouldn't recommend, if you are doing sports classic races a bunch, using this vehicle and instead going for one of those top tier options like the Turismo Classic and Furnace Classic and the Cheetah Classic. All right, so now to give my final review of this vehicle, let's start with price. I think the price is okay. It's a little expensive for a sports classic car, but it is on par with some of the other prices we've seen of other sports classic vehicles. So it's not shocking to see that sort of price right under $1 million. Customization, definitely an A+. I mean, this vehicle has some of the greatest customization, the most unique customization, really cool quirks that you don't see on other vehicles. So it definitely gets an A+. Performance, I'm going to give a C. It's not terrible. There's just so many other amazing sports classic cars that it really is just tough to compete. So you won't be worthless in a race, but you're really going to be putting yourself behind the 8 ball if you choose to use this vehicle. So what's my overall opinion? I think you should still buy this car. I think it's a lot of fun. Obviously, I don't think you should buy it for racing, but I think most people that are going to be buying this vehicle won't be buying it for racing. They're going to be buying it because they enjoy the vehicle, they like its customization or its personality or its character or whatever the case is, and they're going to be enjoying the vehicle for that. And that's my opinion too. So I don't think this vehicle gets the buyer beware sticker. You just need to know what you're buying this vehicle for, and racing and performance shouldn't be that thing. But anyways, that's all the information I've got for you guys in this video today, and that is my review of the Karin 190Z. Remember, if you need help buying this vehicle, I've got a shark card giveaway going on in the description, or actually on my Twitter, but the link to that is in the description, so check that out if you want. If you did go on to enjoy this video, though, a like rating would, of course, be awesome. And also, subscribe to my YouTube channel if you are new, where you like daily GTA 5 videos like this. With all the way, guys, like I said, thanks so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you guys in the next video.